I love when you do the big intro.
Yeah, 800 words or less.
And this will be the last one. Let's just get one more.
Ladies, gentlemen,
Let's go out of the binary.
and everyone in between, welcome to StageCraft. A big welcome to StageCraft.
Hey, you're listening to StageCraft on WERA, and today we have Ed Moores with us, Zach and Albert.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yo, what's up?
It's like your music, you know, like where it infects people in the crowd. Like it's that same thing when you give out that good energy. I think people receive it and they feel like they want to give it out to somebody else. Yeah,
They give it back to you and they pass it on. Yeah,
It's contagious in a good way.
that's right.
It's contagious in a good way, not like poison ivy.
Oh, right. Listen, I have
Or the clap.
I have a technical question.
I bet you do.
I was listening to some tracks. I rode my bike up here today, Don. It's a beautiful ride, you know. And
I didn't know you had a radio on your
I
bike.
had my little ear thing in there.
Yeah.
And I was listening to some tracks. A couple of questions. Number one, Kim from Soundgarden, the guitar player. I heard some influence. Is that a guy that you like a lot?
Yes, I love Soundgarden. I mean, like, they were definitely one of my early influences into playing guitar when I started playing guitar. And, like, I mean, the best compliment I ever got was that I looked like Kim Thayil mixed with Chris Cornell.
You do a little bit.
I was like, that was the best compliment
Man,
I ever got.
you can do a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
That is true.
I was
That
like,
is
yo, thank you so much.
Yeah, but I heard
because
some
I
of the-
love both of them, Chris
Put
Cornell
that shit on
and
your Tinder
Kim.
profile.
Like they're both influential to my singing and my guitar playing.
Which is a great source. I mean, what a band.
Hell yes.
But yeah, some of the stacked feedback stuff that I was hearing, I almost had to pull my bike over because I was like, oh, it was really great. It
Sick.
was really great. Yeah.
Sick.
What
Thanks
about
for
you,
checking us out.
Albert? Who are some of your influences?
Well, my three main influences in drumming, I would say, would be Lars Ulrich, Roger Taylor, and Ian Pace by way of Tico Torres. So I just for now, those are my three main influences. But as far as music goes, when I first heard metal, it was Injustice for All.
Oh yeah, Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah, and this we were it was after school and we had like a carpool, so there's a bunch of us, maybe five guys from the school, all different grades and stuff, and there would be like some rockers in there in the carpool, so they would play. They had this tape called "Injustice for All" by Metallica. So what the f is this? So, and they played it, and then it was booming so hard, like almost like the cars with subwoofers and stuff. Like the air was being manipulated and pushed like with the guitars and shit. So that was my first introduction to metal. And I remember thinking, do I like this stuff? It's like, I like it, but my intellectual mind didn't like it. It's like a deeper part of myself liked it, but it was like
What didn't you like? What didn't you like about it?
It was too dark because I was still in like high school or grade school even. So I was pretty young, and that was my first introduction to that kind of music. So I was into for 1 year I was into like pop, you know, just like radio shit, and so that was one of my first introductions into like metal and rock.
It's like a come to Jesus moment or something like that.
What were you into with pop music? What were you listening to?
One of my early memories as a child was like Michael Jackson and stuff.
Sure.
Like Thriller was. I was growing up Thriller was just came out, so Thriller is my jam. You know?
man.
So I love that album.
There's some
it's
good
like
songs,
ingrained
yeah.
into me. Yeah. So how do you view that album, Don? Thriller. I mean, did you listen to that album?
I haven't for a long time,
Okay.
but just well put together. Once again, balance. I mean, everything is in there, and they highlight the strong points, which is one of the strong points being Jackson's voice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And he
I
was a
also thought-
fantastic songwriter, though, too. Like,
Yeah.
he
He
wrote
is.
those songs.
Yeah.
Like him
Yeah.
and Quincy Jones, right?
Yeah. Well, it's all about the song.
Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting. You're talking about the vocals. They recorded all the vocals on an SM7B.
Really?
Hot
Yeah.
tip. That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Damn.
whole album. That's
For
all
the
you
listeners, for the
Yeah.
listeners, can you give them a little information as to why that's interesting?
need. It's like $200,
Oh.
$300 mic.
Podcaster
It's not-
favorite.
Upward of 300.
Okay, fine.
Ladies and gentlemen,
But
welcome
still a
to
very
Mic Talk.
affordable mic.
Not what you would
It
expect.
is.
You
It
know,
is.
and like it's very affordable for DIY musicians at home. Just get that, and you can get Michael Jackson like level vocals, like quality wise. Like, not going to guarantee you could sing that way.
Exactly
Oh
right.
no. It's
And it's
you
also
have-
there's like mixing involved, right?
If you don't
like,
have the range, you're not going to nail it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but still, I thought it was a fun fact that that's what he used. Don't use that. That was out of control. You're listening to StageCraft on WERA, and today we're joined by Ed Moores, that's Zach, and Albert. Yeah, but you're right. Like a cat, all you need is like a litter box, like the self, like filling, like
Water.
yeah, whatever. They
Cat's a
don't.
lot of work because most of the time you have to
fountain, yeah.
go to sleep in fear that cat's gonna murder you in the middle of the night. It's gonna happen at some point.
I just fear that she's gonna escape. I'm like, are all the windows closed? They're like,
Let me tell you this, my friend. You would be lucky if it escaped.
No,
You would live.
No,
My
cats.
God.
no.
Something wants to murder
boo
you in your
hiss,
sleep.
Alex, boo.
Cats are demons.
That's
I
not
love
true.
Oh,
They're
no.
wonderful creatures.
boy.
How dare
Don't
you?
hate on the cats.
demons.
We love all animals.
Well, of
here.
course we love all animals, but that doesn't mean they love us.
But some are better than others.
Some are better than others.
Oh no.
It's true. So in terms of the stage, it sounds like there's not a lot of forethought that goes into how are we going to connect with the audience tonight, friend? It sounds like it's more you just go out there, do your thing, and you do it the best that you can. You know, can you tell us? Is there a regimen that gets you there? Is there a do you do yoga? Do you work out? What's your discipline?
What I saw was they just cracked open some beers and just slammed them back.
Yes. Yes.
What's wrong with that?
Do you have a workout regimen? Do you have a discipline?
I mean, on the car ride there, we like to like kind of hum the songs. Like I'll hum the riffs.
Is this
and-
in the Buick?
Yeah, we use. Well, my van's currently
Because that
in
Buick is
repair.
hot. I didn't mean to interrupt.
We're
Yeah,
admiring
talk
the
about-
Buick.
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
I had a Volvo before that broke down on tour.
Yeah.
I like station wagons because they're like the best of both worlds. We can get our gear around as a two-piece,
Yes,
and
sir.
also I can park it in DC.
Yeah. And
So-
I noticed, not that I was snooping,
Yeah,
because I wouldn't go.
Please snoop.
Listen, I didn't
Yeah.
come over here to snoop.
Like-
Spill the tea.
But I noticed that station wagon came from Culpeper, Virginia.
I bought it in West Virginia, but I'm
Okay.
sure it originated somewhere in the Culpeper
that is
region.
This isn't the first time that
Piece
I've
of
heard you try to get
vehicle.
Culpeper into a conversation. Culpeper?
Culpeper.
No, we should have said Culpeper.
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 Culpeper, Virginia.
Shoehorning.
Where are y'all from?
Culpeper.
That's such. I hate when people ask that question. Where do we practice? Where was
I
I
think it's
born?
open-ended. If someone's like, tell me where you're from, what would you say?
I would say Arlington, Virginia. That's where I live
Hey,
right now.
all right, Arlington.
So, like,
Fair
where am I
Arlington.
from? I was born in Long Island,
Can
West Hempstead.
North Shore, South Shore? Where are we?
West Hempstead.
Oh, that's a nice part of the world.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived it.
Fred is a world traveler. Knows about Manila.
Sure.
Knows about Culpeper, Virginia.
That's right.
Manila, they make paper, don't they? Or
Ask
folders?
me where the last
Long
Sizzler in
Island.
America is. I can tell you.
Where is the last Sizzler in America?
Down south. Way down south.
Oh my
Albert,
God.
tell us something about yourself. You're very quiet there on the chair. You're surveying everything,
Well, what do I want to know?
and you're a big contributor to the group. So, what are your likes, dislikes? What do you do on stage? What do you chatter up the audience about?
Yes.
Never really chat with the audience, but I've tried to because before I wouldn't even like look at them until the end of the show. But I've tried to be more conscious now and get them into it, like connect with them.
Yeah.
I don't think you mean chat during the show. You mean
No,
like,
I do mean during the
the show. Oh, okay. We don't ever really talk that much during. We try to make it all. We try not to let the music even stop.
You guys
really.
don't do jokes
I
in
don't have a
between?
mic
huh?
even.
No, right.
You have a mic?
No, I don't have a
Oh,
mic
you don't?
on stage. Yeah.
What do you think about musicians who do tell jokes in between songs on stage?
That's awesome. I love it. Sometimes it depends on the band. Like
Depends on a joke.
yeah, it depends on the joke. I mean, like certain bands, like it works for them. Sometimes we'll have a brief pause, but and I'll say something about how fucking awesome the night is or something. But we really try not to have too much pause.
You just want to do a musical presentation.
The best performances, the best concerts, shows, whatever that I'm at, are ones that are immersive experience.
Yes.
Where I'm just pulled into it for the entire time, and I leave whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
And sometimes the stage banter can kind of take you back into reality and
Sure.
stop the atmosphere.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's,
keep it-
that's
Suspension
yeah,
of
yeah.
disbelief.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Oh yeah. Going back to this thing though, Zach is the nicest person I know. He's just like, he's so much better around people than I am. Like, people
I'm
come
constantly
in,
nervous and
people come in and like ask him the craziest questions or like try to f around with what he's doing, and he just handles it with such grace. And he has such like a wide range of like musical interests. When I went to the show, I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, I know you're a metal guy because you love metal. Like, you tell me about metal music and you look like a metal dude, right?
Right.
But I was like, you're just so nice. And then I go to the show and it's like this explosion. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know I worked with a f***ing wizard.
I find like most of the people in the metal scene are pretty chill.
Oh,
and are
yeah.
pretty
That's
nice.
true. I mean, it's
Yeah.
true.
A lot
It's
of
true.
artists,
Yeah.
folks.
No, I know,
Well,
but
it
it's
used
more
to be,
like...
though, like 15 years ago, you would go to like a doom metal or like you went to like a Pig Destroyer show, you would get like your ass beat.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, like it was
But-
different in the day.
It's true, but it's more like I didn't know where it was going to come from, you know? Because, like, when I see Zach, he's just so full of light and positivity.
It's suppressed.
Don, did you ever go to
But that's what it sounds like. It feels like it's just bubbling over, and then that's when the floodgates open up when you perform, you know?
Yeah,
Exactly,
no,
yeah.
honestly, I am pretty happy most of the time. Like, a lot of my lyrics are really dark, and people kind of assume that I'm, like, really f***ing always, like, negative. But I'm not, because I channel it when we're practicing, when I'm writing, when I'm listening to that type of music. I listen to a lot of that type of music, and like feel pretty happy most of the time. Like I like, you know, I have like 21st century problems of mental health and shit. But I have a coping mechanism which is better than most people can say.
Yeah.
So it allows me to be like pretty happy in my life, and thus like friendly. Like, I don't know. I know how f***ed up the world is. I don't want to make it any more fucked than anyone else. You know, I want to help people live.
You know,
Hippocratic
that's,
Oath.
that's called a positive worldview, everybody,
Yeah.
and it's contagious.
I think
It
that's
is
great.
contagious.
I think that's great.
You're listening to StageCraft on WERA, and today we're joined by Ed Moores, that's Zach, and Albert.
Howdy, folks. I'm Zach.
Yo, what up?
And I'm Albert. Back to what I was saying about you guys on stage. Like, what do you guys like tap into, or like when you're up there? Like, how do you get into that space when you're performing? When you just like let it all go and like you're on the ground, you're like flailing about, you know, on the stage, you're smashing your guitar, whatever. How do you get there?
That's an interesting question. How do we get there? We just turn off. Like, I mean, Albert, you can speak for yourself, but like, for me, there's so much that I hold inside on my day-to-day life, like with just interacting in society, and like it's so draining. It's so like everyone's pushing so much inside and trying to keep it together. We're all trying to keep it together. We're all trying to like just find our little piece in this puzzle, you know. And it's so hard for everyone. We don't like to talk about how hard it is to just exist.
It's so
You
hard,
know,
man. The
it's
existential angst is real, man.
Yeah,
Just day to day.
yeah. Just day to day is fucking hard. It's hard to survive in this society with like so much coming down on you all at once. And so I stopped trying to hide it.
Through music.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to let that out.
Yeah, I gotta let it out somehow, and that's my outlet. That's how, like, I can, you know, go about my day and be a nice person and be sociable with people. I need it. Like, so I just stop pretending. That's what it is.
Is it fair to say that many lives are saved because of the
Fred,
emotional
you're gonna go
exercise
there
that
right
you
there.
do on stage? You get the demons out.
Endorphins.
Oh, like I would No, I wouldn't kill anyone. I would never
Yeah,
harm
I
anyone.
think Fred is trying to
No.
insinuate
I would
that you would be
I would kill
murdered.
myself.
Oh, don't do that, hey
Anyone.
man! Don't
You
do
know what I
that.
mean? No.
We're gonna go
I
dark.
would never harm anyone. But I
Thank
have
you.
thoughts
Please
about killing
include
myself all
please
the time.
include yourself on that list, man. Come on.
So we get that there's a release. You're releasing the tension and all that, and know
Yeah.
that almost everyone in the audience is there for the same reason. That's exactly what I
That's
get
why we
out
go
of
to
it.
shows.
For
That
catharsis.
vibing with them and the music in the moment, it's I'm just high on it, and it just you realize, oh, what am I worried about?
Right.
So let it go, let go.
And the loudness helps.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
good.
Wildness is like the point, isn't it?
Yeah. It's visceral. It's visceral to be. I mean, all forms of art to me are like Albert and I talk about this all the time. Like like art to you. You said the other day. You're like, it's the highest form of like the highest reason of life. Like it's the best thing we fucking have is art as humans.
Yeah, aside from
Say to
your,
Alex,
right
it's like
there.
an affirmation of life. It's like, wow, everything's gonna be okay. Because I
Right.
didn't know I could feel this good, and all he is just making music, and I'm listening to
Copium.
it. But it's doing a whole body, mind-body thing.
Yeah.
It's really
What-
cool.
What were you saying, Albert?
I forgot.
Well, how do you get to that place? Because we just
Yeah.
asked Zach.
Well-
or Zach just answered, I guess.
It's basically like therapy for me. It's like just releasing like everyday life pent up, And I think the goal is to not think when you're playing. So you have to know the songs like in your DNA, or else you won't be able to play it correctly. Because you'll be thinking about it, and the point is not to think. So
I feel that. Like the thing I say to my bandmates is like, before we go on stage is like, hey, we've like practiced as much as we're going to be able to practice. Now it's time to just let it go. And like, now we're going to be like living in between the music notes together. Like, we're just going to be in this moment. Like, it's like you said, in your DNA, like it's just coursing through your blood. Like your body knows what to do. Just trust it kind of thing. There's no more preparation involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about thinking.
You have to accept wherever you're at. Like you can't like we never really try to cram before a show.
Yeah.
We're just like, all right, this is where we're at, and the most we think is when we look at each other before transition.
Yeah.
Just think for a second, like, oh, you know what's coming up. All right, cool, and then we're like back to.
Yeah, like booth thinking. I think thinking is overrated. You know, if I could have something that took away most of the decision making that I need to make on a regular basis, I'm exhausted.
Hey, talk to me after the
No,
show,
I get it.
Alex.
What to eat, what time to get up, where to go, where's the show going to be? It's just too much.
I just want to be there. I just want to.
Major decisions in life.
Yeah.
Well, we were actually, I mean, that is a joke, but all joking aside, Don and I were talking about how before the pandemic, when we would do the radio show, we basically would just show up Tuesdays at 3:55, do the show, leave, upload that show, and we were done for the week. And then it's all of a sudden during the pandemic, it became this like arduous, like, oh my God, like we have to book a guest every week.
Yeah.
We can't just show up and just do it. You know?
The only difference is I showed up at 3:59.
Yeah, 3:59
true.
and 30 seconds one
Yeah.
time. I remember. I was like, I don't know where he is. This is not like him. I lie.
Alex, I have a question.
Please.
So I like what you said about how the whole show developed, and not to make it about the show. 'cause
Think
we
less.
Well, this is
yes.
about StageCraft, Fred.
Yeah, we're
So,
talking about
yeah.
StageCraft with
Right.
a capital S and a small s.
I like that.
I think it's pretty good when we do just rip off each other.
You know,
Rock and roll.
If
Ask
we
me.
don't
I'm
have
ready.
a guest,
All
we
right,
just
Ashley.
talk.
Just
Give me.
quick question. So, and this is open to the floor.
Open to the
This
floor.
question is
Okay,
open to
it
the floor.
can be as long as you want, Fred.
Thank you so much,
It doesn't have
Don.
to be short.
I'm here with a question.
We're open for you.
What would you say, Amanda Dove, is the difference between a pet project and a passion project?
a pet project is when you have to take that thing out for walks, give it water, feed it twice a day, give it some treats.
That is,
Flakes on the
that is the correct answer.
That's a dog project. That needs.
That's right.
She's fast.
Yeah,
a,
like-
a fish product is even less
Hey,
time
man.
consuming.
Hey, no, that's not true. That's like a really huge misconception. Like
aquarium.
About
fish
fish?
need
pH.
love too, dude. Yeah. I'm just full of right now. I made that all up. I love that you guys bought it.
No, it's actually true. I've seen
But
footage.
Go ahead, swim with it.
no, but it is true that they do require a lot of maintenance in the tank and stuff, especially if you have like these exotic fish.
Whole science right there.
Yeah, it's a
Aquarium.
lot of science.
All right, one more question.
Try introducing yourself so they recognize your voice. With
Why not you guys do an introduction?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good idea. Hey, what's up, people? You're listening to WERA 96.7 StageCraft at 7 p.m. My name's Zach from Et Moores, and here we also got
Amanda Dove.
I'm Albert.
I'm Don.
This is Wilfredo Morales.
Hi, I'm Fred Hoff.
I love you, Fred.
Who rode here his bike?
They say imitation is the highest form of flattery. You know.
Hey, you're listening to StageCraft on WERA, and today we have Et Moores with us, Zach and Albert.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yo, what's up?
I want to kind of circle back about the Hammond pedals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So one of my teachers, music teachers, his guitar teacher back in Florida in the 1950s was playing jazz gigs with a Hammond organ pedal, and
awesome.
was running that like walking along to his own arrangements. And he played with Flip Phillips, like a saxophone player, and a couple of other, like a long career of that. Where did you get the idea to do that?
Geddy Lee from Rush.
Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
Canadian of note.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. But also this band Skepticism. They're Skepticism. They're from Finland, a 90s band from Finland. And they're still around today, but they don't have a bass player, they have an organ player.
Nice.
And he fills kind of like the role of lead guitar and bass at the same time with the organ.
Oh,
Madness.
that's like the Doors.
Yeah.
Those Tonians.
Little
Yeah.
Ray Manzarek.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I guess, kind of like the Doors, but like he even like will kind of distort it. It can sound like a guitar sometimes. It's really
Yeah,
it's
like
really
Deep Purple,
crazy.
they were running those
yeah.
organs
Deep
to the
Purple,
Marshall
yeah.
stacks.
Yeah, exactly. And like I don't know how he tours with a fucking organ. I'm sure that's a pain in the ass.
They must have a roadie or
Roadies.
two.
Oh yeah, and that's why they don't really do many
Sherpa.
tours. They do like one-off festivals and like yeah, they're like more of a studio band than anything. So we're more of a live band than a studio band by far.
Yeah.
But I'm very much influenced by them. They would be like one of our top influences. So
How important is volume to your style of music?
I would say pretty important, but also not. It's more about just the feeling of it, you know, like if we're turned down but we're playing loud, it's fine. Like we can play anywhere, you know what I mean?
So what do you think Amanda was tuning into when she was having the transient experience?
It's definitely optimal to have it absolutely blaring. So many times I get told by sound guys, almost every time actually, to turn down. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. I'll turn it down during sound check, and then I'll just turn the fuck up. And they're like, oh, well, like, I couldn't mix you. I'm like, it's fine. Like, I don't care about them mixing me.
It is very easy to get a live sound man on tilt.
Uh-huh.
I've seen it so frequently. that they're like, oh, they didn't want to do what I wanted to do, and then all of a sudden, oh, they can't work with you. So that's it's an interesting dynamic, and there are great sound people out there who will know what you do and know what to do with it.
Fortunately, we're on really good terms with most sound guys. We just try to be really nice to them.
It's a good
and,
policy.
To explain to them what's going on. I'm just like, don't even worry about miking up anything.
You're right.
Their job is pretty easy for us. Literally, we're just like, just put vocals, maybe some kick and snare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't ask for much. Like, we don't need mic'd up. We just turn it up.
Yeah.
I guess circling back to your question about volume, it is pretty important, but at the same time, we're not dependent on it. Like, if you want us to play quiet, we will play. Like, if we're playing like...
Well, here's the difficulty. So it seems like at a high volume, most clubs in DC are not equipped to know what to do with high volume.
Most smaller venues aren't.
Right, yeah.
Well, they can't balance it correctly.
Right.
In other words, the reason why a lot of the sound men say turn it down is because if you are turned up to a certain volume, they cannot fit you into the drums and bass. You are what you are. So in other words, there's no balance being done.
But that's how we mix it. That's how we want our records to come across too. Is like the vocals are like at a level that they're just another instrument. Like, we don't want vocals over the mix. We want our bass and our drums and our guitar to be fueling the mix, and the vocals just another instrument, not on top of it at all.
But I've heard too many bands where the vocals just don't exist because of the band volume.
I will say, as an audience member at one show, that it did feel like another layer, like another instrument. Didn't really stand out, but it wasn't like buried or anything.
Right. Like, to counter your argument, I would be fine playing with no microphone. I would still somehow get the vocals across. I would just scream. I just scream louder. I'm just like, all right. If they don't have a PA that can like get the vocals across, it's whatever. I'll just scream as loud as I can. You'll still hear me one way or another. I've had shows where I've gone into the audience and screamed right next to them so they can hear my vocals.
Sure, and sometimes that is more of contact with the audience.
Yeah, I would rather have the instruments loud. I mean, like the vocals honestly are secondary to the music.
They serve it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're listening to StageCraft on WERA, and today we're joined by Ed Moores, that's Zach, and Albert.
Don, do you run into Quincy at the producers meeting?
That is a fun
Producers
fact.
America meeting.
No, he's never come to any of those conventions or anything like that.
Do you guys have a funny handshake?
So aloof.
Yes.
So aloof.
Is it? But there is like there are producer type conferences, right? And
There are, yeah. And there used to be a bunch of conventions like Tape Op, things like that, yeah.
Cool.
AES conventions.
Do you ever speak at conventions, Don?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to speak on vocal recording.
was that your expertise? Was that your?
Yep. Yep, I think it's...
What are some tips that you could give us right now? Like some bullet points here.
StageCraft tips?
Yes.
Yeah,
we gotta
I'd
make
like
people
to
pay
hear.
for this.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, click through and
Yeah.
give it. Please PayPal
For
us
the
$5.
premium content.
The following premium
Patreon.
content has not been.
Right. Well, sing it right. Don't use auto-tune.
Wait, slow down.
There's
Wait,
a
slow
tune.
down. Slow
Okay.
down.
Yes.
Sing it
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. And we're not talking about, the Tea Party here. We're
you
talking
mean-
about right.
You mean actually get it
Yeah.
in key?
Right, get in
Correctamundo.
Fred, are
Yep.
you writing this down?
Hey!
You know, I had a client ask about autotune. He's like, what can we do in that regards? What can we do? He kind of just like prying. And I said, we can get in a time machine and record it in the right way.
How about some
You know,
2-inch
I just
back
tape?
to
I put my foot down.
1988.
Yeah, I got the autotune plugin, but I don't want to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
My feeling is if you're going to sing, you're a singer. And if you're a singer, that's your instrument. Do it. I mean, why screw around with it?
I don't think that doesn't check out with my with my backup on.
Well, I love that because it's the little microtones that give each individual voice its personality.
True.
And when you smooth those out with your little robot plugins, it's all the robot.
But sometimes that's like the sound the person's going for, you know?
Truly.
Effects, yeah.
Truly.
Speaking of Cher, and I believe
She's the
in
first,
Oh,
Life-
'cause she's the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, the auto-tune birth. Yes.
Yeah.
And then T-Pain took it to the next
Exactly.
level.
Yeah.
But
And you know
don't think
what's
that. Don't think
You know what's
that
a
Exactly.
shame about
can't do it.
T-Pain, though?
He can do it
He's
without
phenomenal.
it. He's really
Hey,
good.
wait a minute.
yeah,
but
yeah,
you're
he was
talking
searching
about
for that
an
for
effect.
years.
And he
You're
knows
talking
kung fu.
about an
He does
effect.
kung fu.
Facts versus
T-Pain
correction
does
is a
kung
different.
fu.
Yeah.
So it is artistic choice for T-Pain.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was artistic choice.
Yeah. Because
He's
he can
also
really
really
sing.
into lawn bowling.
Or
Yeah.
is he hiding
And
something?
No, he
kung
was
I don't
fu.
think
searching for
you're
the
right.
effects for
Fine.
years.
All right.
He
There you
was-
go.
He was in Like a
he really
search
made it blow
for it,
up. Too.
yeah.
I mean, like, because if you watch his Tiny Desk, he has amazing voice.
He also won
He does
that
that.
like crazy show, Masked Singer, where
Dope.
you're like in a costume.
He
no
was
one
on
knows who
that?
you are. Yeah, he won the first one.
Oh my god!
There's
I
also
didn't know
a
that.
documentary
How
about
do you
it,
win
the
that?
autotune.
You're the best singer.
In the costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
About how
then
it
don't they have
became
to guess
a
the
thing.
thing? I don't know.
What?
Hey, I have a question for these guys right here.
Yeah.
Now listen, I was riding my bicycle up here today.
Oh,
All right. I noticed.
Fred, were you riding your bike up, or did
John,
you
I
catch
just
an
want to
Uber?
make sure that you know that I ran along 4 mile run there, and
Okay.
then took a left, right on Glebe, and then up the hill.
We
But
know where that is.
it was great because the weather's awesome, and I had this music was getting me fired up. And
Steep hill, though.
it's not that. It's part of it, yes, but not
Fred
that
is
bad.
ripped,
and
so.
especially thank you.
for the listeners at home.
Just put together like a bologna sandwich. I detected a little bit of Pink Floyd in the songs that you recorded. Is that the case? Are you like the Pink Floyd?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
And,
like,
and then the follow-up question would be, which album do you like? Like, if you had to pick one Pink Floyd record, which one are you picking?
metal.
That's a good one.
That song
Pink Floyd's
echoes.
not really like a direct influence of mine.
Okay.
So yeah, but I know about what they do. You know, and I've heard about stories about a live setting. So let's say in a stadium,
Yeah.
they would produce like sound effects just up on the bleachers.
Yes.
like specifically on the bleachers, and they could control sounds like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly produced.
What you want to do is eat just
Yeah,
a
how
couple
do they do
squares
that?
and then
Put an amplifier up there.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I grew up with
I see.
Pink Floyd and Jimi Hendrix and U2,
yeah.
REM, that. But like Pink Floyd was one of those bands that I heard and started really getting into in the 2nd grade. So
When you're 7 years old.
yeah, I liked Pink
Wow.
Floyd when I was
Yeah.
from that age. And then so they I mean, like, even if it's subconscious, if I'm not trying to channel Pink Floyd,
Love that.
it's there. Same
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Hendrix.
I
I
felt
love
that.
Hendrix
I could-
even more.
Yeah, I could feel it, and that's a good thing. That's a compliment.
Yeah, I can sense it too.
Thanks. Yeah,
with
that's
Pink
the-
Floyd. Yeah.
Those are like the biggest compliments if somebody like says Sabbath, Floyd, or Hendrix.
Yeah.
Those are like, for me, like,
Quick follow-up question: do you guys have?
Wait.
Oh.
You're riding here on your bike?
Oh, listen, Don. Quick follow-up question. I had written here on my bike. Do you guys have a Patreon page that people can visit and support you?
no, we don't.
No.
We have a Bandcamp.
Okay.
And I have a YouTube channel called Doom Central that I upload a lot of our stuff to, along with like a few other bands.
It's kind of funny to think of. It's like, do you have a Patreon that people could support? And it's like, no, I have a band that people can come see
Yeah,
live.
exactly.
Of course, there's that.
I would not be opposed to making
Right.
a Patreon. We just like,
I mean, no one is. We're just trying to get
So,
money. At
okay,
this
I-
point.
I have
Like,
just-
just tell me what website you want, and I will put it up. To get money.
put
Yeah.
up the Bandcamp. You can.
I'm
you know,
making the
support me there,
content.
yeah.
What
Right.
more do you people want?
Just a hypothetical question. Let's say that you make a Patreon page tomorrow.
Or OnlyFans or something. right?
Well,
Fans.
come on,
See,
one
that's
step at a
what I'm
time.
saying.
One everybody knows that
Who doesn't
$15
wanna
is
see this
$15. I mean, he's a
I mean,
good-looking
he was
guy.
cool with the
They're both very
CCO.
good.
Why not get paid for it?
Who doesn't want to see the CCO episode presented by Fred?
Nobody
Live and in person.
Good lord. Well, it might be fun. But my
What an
question
image.
is, if you had a Patreon page, What would the number be like if I wanted to hear acoustic versions of these songs that you made?
I mean, we would. Like, what would the number we would do for free? If
You
someone
would do it for free.
If someone asked us to do that,
Which
we
you don't
I would.
yeah.
It was one of the things done. I was riding my bike up the hill.
You were?
Yeah. And I thought, wow, I bet some of these songs are really dope acoustically.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We've
is
never
happening
actually
now?
done it, but we totally would it. I mean,
Yeah.
All right,
I
thank you.
think what Fred is angling
price.
for is an acoustic show at the Hank Deedles over in Silver Spring.
Oh, opening for the Hanging Jack Spotters?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or opening at the Birchmere.
Ooh.
Oh, that
Now
would
there's
be
a
amazing.
room.
Maybe opening up for like Peter Frampton or something like that.
You know he comes alive. All over the place.
If you like
Four more
puns,
stage.
you guys came to the right show.
Yes, you-
because we got a lot of
really,
them.
oh my god, I can't keep up.
We always talked about this acoustic thing because sometimes we have conversations where I would say, imagine we were like in a faraway place and we were hanging out in a bonfire with this bunch of old men, you know, and we told them and they asked us, so what do you guys do? And we're playing a band. Oh really? All right, cool. We have an acoustic guitar here, so
you're like, oh,
play us something, you know.
It's
So
not really that kind of.
oh, sorry, we need an amp, you know. We need to plug in, so it's not
like that, sir.
it's not unquestionable. You gotta play your.
Yeah.
If we need to play, we can play. You know?
Yeah.
You have to be ready, and
But tone matters, yeah, and you know, you guys sculpt a signature tone, I'm sure, you know, with what you're doing.
Yeah, but we could strip it down too.
Cool.
You know, we could strip it down too. Just it's a matter of if there is actually people asking for that.
I'm asking for it.
Wait,
yeah, Fred's,
wait.
Yeah, Fred's coming pretty strong to the hoop for it.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question.
Does it involve a Patreon?
No,
Were you
I was riding
a bike?
my bike.
Ah, yes.
No, I wasn't. No, listen.
Have a bike.
I do have a bike,
But you weren't riding.
but I wasn't riding it today. Did you both play your respective instruments the entire time that you got into music, or did you play something before? Or how did you start playing guitar and drums?
I started with piano when I was a kid. I had like a teacher go by our house every Thursday, and she would teach me piano for an hour. So just basic stuff, you know. But I really enjoyed it, and I could play a couple of songs, but I was never really good at it. But I was able to make my own songs, and I remember I had an elaborate composition, but I was never able to record it, so it's like gone forever.
Oh no!
So I was really proud about it, but yeah. So
So how did you end up moving to drums?
then I was a guitar player afterwards.
okay.
Yeah. So I played guitar for a while, and for me, guitar was. I prefer guitar because the guitar back then, because it was like the spirit of the music as far as metal goes. For me, guitar is the most important aspect of metal. Like you can take away everything else, but just leave the guitar and you're fine. It will speak for itself, you know.
You're listening to StageCraft on WERA, and today we're joined by Ed Moores, that's Zach, and Albert.
So
I don't know. I feel like drums are pretty essential
Take that,
to metal
bass
music
players.
for me.
Take
Like I feel
that.
like I could listen to a drummer and someone's vocals or something and still be exciting to me.
Oh man, this is a hot take. We should go around. I
Well,
think
but
bass
the
guitar,
song isn't in
bass
the,
guitar and drum all day.
No, oh,
the song isn't.
I was
in
just
the- in
saying,
the
like,
drums.
I think you could still get like feelings. I'm not saying that's my favorite. I don't really rank things like that, but you know, what, Fred?
What were you thinking as you were driving over here on your
Oh
bike?
my god!
Were you
tell you-
listening to some of the songs on the radio?
I'll tell you something, Don. I was riding my bike home
Yeah.
from the city last night, and I thought, God, golly, what a...
You probably thought a saxophone's the
I
most
thought
important.
what a doom metal needs is more like alto saxophone
Sure.
and maybe kazoo. Okay.
Kazoo.
No, is that really
cello.
what you were gonna say? What were you gonna say?
I mean, the
I don't
truth is,
remember
Fred
anymore.
didn't even really know what he was going to say.
Lost it. Sorry, but you were saying something, Albert.
I was saying the song is in the guitar though. It's where like the whole thing rests upon as far as the song goes, as far as metal, even like death metal or black metal. I mean, if it's just drums, it could every song could sound the same. You just the Slayer beat or the
I hear what you're
the
saying.
blast beat.
Yeah.
So it's just like a machine, but with the guitar, that's where the emotion lies and the spirit, and so it's like the core of the music.
The ferocity.
So
Yeah.
from via guitar, how did you find guitar? Drums.
Yeah.
Zach can tell that story.
I forced him to play drums in his band.
Are you serious?
Coercion.
Why did you force yourself?
I was playing drums and he was playing guitar, and we were jamming one day, and
The old switcheroo.
and we weren't coming up with anything good, really. It was just, and then I was like, I got frustrated. I was like, "You play drums, I'm gonna play guitar."
This is a
I'll
lot
riff it."
like Eddie and Alex Van Halen, if you think about it.
right on.
There's a switcheroo.
Is that how it went?
Switcheroo.
I didn't even know that. But,
That's true.
But yeah, I was kind of frustrated, and I was just like, "Here, you play the drums, and I'll rap." it."
And I always loved playing drums. Whenever I was a guitar player, whenever I would sit behind the drums, I would feel just absolute joy.
Yes.
And this is like the best thing in
It's
the
a
world.
great feeling.
And
It is.
I never reached that place in the guitar though, because it's the act of playing drums that's more engaging.
Yeah.
Visceral. And
Yeah,
You're
you
engaging
move your
all of
body
your
around,
limbs,
except
yeah.
just the hands and your mind. So you can just stand still and play the whole thing, you know, and look like a zombie, or you can rock around like Dillinger Escape Plan, which I love. I love their energy.
Yeah.
This is what one of my kind of heroes, you know, as far as the whole concept on how they do things.
So is that the reason there's so many drummer jokes?
I don't know about the joke.
Are we
What?
going there?
What? No.
No, okay, so now over to Zach now. Have you always played guitar? How did you find guitar?
Well, he obviously played drums before.
He
No,
had me- yes.
no,
That
but
is
he
the-
didn't. He
That's the
didn't.
deductive
That's
power
They
that
had
you're going to
drums.
get.
Something you're doing for fun is what I'm
We're
gathering.
just jamming.
Yeah.
I mean, I play a little bit
Yeah.
of drums, but not really seriously. First instrument that I ever tried was in 4th grade. Tried to play violin, and I was fucking not able to get a single note out of it. And then I was in DC public schools, like Thompson Elementary School, in like 4th grade. I moved in the middle of 4th grade, like moved around a lot when I was younger, and we didn't really have a music program. But the principal of the school, wish I can remember her name right now. The principal of the school, Thompson Elementary School, back in like 2000, whenever, she taught acoustic guitar. She was a Native American woman, and she took it upon herself to teach acoustic guitar during the lunch hour.
That is amazing.
Yeah, like literally just a few kids that expressed interest, and I was one of those. I was like, oh, guitar, because I listened to
Pink Floyd when you were 7.
Yeah, at that time I was really into Linkin Park.
Oh, crawling in my skin.
Oh.
I was in 4th grade, and I love guitar music always. So like,
Were you trying so hard, and in the end you found out
it didn't really matter. It still doesn't. Nothing matters.
Audible groan.
No, but yeah. So she started kind of my journey. When I started on acoustic, and she did kind of like a finger.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to StageCraft. If you would like to hear more, you can of course just put into your web search of choice, StageCraft, Don, Alex, Amanda, Dub, Fred, and Wilfredo, and I'm sure something will come up and you can click the link. Stay tuned for our OnlyFans, where you get to see Don in a Speedo.
Let's go for a
you
bike
won't.
ride.
Oh, we could drop over your house and give you a cassette.
Give it up for the teachers. Come
She
on.
retired after that year. That was her last year.
You broke her.
Yeah.
Teachers
She's never going to get as awesome as this. I have to retire.
teachers everywhere, whether it's Arlington or Alexandria, they're all great.
That wasn't me. I didn't say straight to tape.
Blind
Oh,
corner.
live to tape.
Live to
There we
tape.
go.
Oh,
That'd
live
be
to
cool.
tape.
Live to
Hey,
tape.
can we try an exercise real quick? And
Oh my
then
God.
this is it. So
And
I'm
wait,
going to
does
go.
it require jumping jacks?
You're
Don't
Can we
give
do
me
it?
the high notes.
Oh,
Don't give me the high
no.
notes.
That's brutal. Yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah, that's not bad.
Woo!